where Arjuna prays to the universal form of the Lord. Similarly, in the Gautamiya Tantra, all the verses are called prayers. Again, in Srimad Bhagavatam, there are hundreds of prayers to the Lord. So a devotee should select some of these prayers for his recitation. In the Skanda Purana, the glories of these prayers are stated as follows. Devotees whose tongues are decorated always with the prayers to Lord Krishna are always given respect even by great saintly persons and sages. Such devotees are actually worshipable by the demigods. Those who are less intelligent want to worship different demigods for some material gain rather than worship Krishna. But here it is stated that a devotee who is always engaged offering prayers to the Lord is worshipable even by the demigods themselves. The pure devotees have nothing to ask from any demigods. Rather, the demigods are anxious to offer prayers to the pure devotees. In the Nrsimha Purana, it is stated, any person who comes before the deity of Lord Krishna and begin to chant different prayers is immediately relieved from all the reactions of sinful activities, become eligible without any doubt to enter into the Vaikuntha Loka. So, Prabhupada says that this Krishna consciousness conducted by the under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. I think that is mentioned in the Nectar of Instruction. Krishna consciousness movement is conducted under the supervision of Srila Rupa Goswami. The Gaudiya Vaishnava or Bengali Vaishnava, mostly followers of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So, like this nectar of devotion also very, very important for all of us. All our activities, like a morning to evening in the temple, ISKCON ashrams, we perform according to that only. Prabhupada established ISKCON and ashrams, ashram also there are devotees, mainly brahmacharis, mostly, and they practice devotional service. So this book is very, very important, Nectar of Devotion. So we will be continuing this Mukunda Mala Stotra, prayers of King Kulashekara. Yesterday we did 5 verses. Today also 1 verse I would like to recite. I think there is a verse to this prayer. Diviva bhuviva ma bhira vastu narakeva narakantaka prakara vindam. Something like this prayer. So here the translation. O Lord, killer of the demon Naraka, let me reside either in the realm of demigods, in the world of human being, or in hell, as you please. I pray only that at the point of death I may remember you your two lotus feet, whose beauty defies that of the lotus growing in the Ceres season. You can all repeat after me. O Lord, killer of the demon Naraka, let me reside either in the realm of demigods, in the world of human being, or in hell, as you please. I pray only that at the point of death, I may remember your two lotus feet, whose beauty defies that of the lotus growing in the Ceres season. So these prayers are very, very beautiful, and we have to always remember and follow. That's what the bhakti is. Like a nectar of devotion. Explain, the first sloka is one must vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam, jiva vegam. That is very, very important. The next verse says, Atyahara prayascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangasya lolyamta shadbir bhakti vinashyati. That means one's devotional service is spoiled when he becomes too entangled in the following 6 activities: eating more than necessary, collecting more funds than required, over-endeavoring for mundane things that are very difficult to obtain, talking unnecessarily about mundane subject matters, practicing the scriptural rules and regulations only for the sake of following them, not for the sake of spiritual advancement, or rejecting the rules and regulation of the scriptures, working independently or whimsically, associate with worldly minded persons who are not interested in Krishna consciousness, being greedy for mundane achievements. So this is explaining Atyara Prayascha Prajalpo Niyamagraha Janasangasya Lolyanta Shadbir Bhakti Vinashyati. Now the third prayer is, and the text 3, Utsaha Nisched Dhairyat Tat Karma Pravartanat Sangatyago Tato Vritte Shadbir Bhakti Prasiddhati. There are 6 principles favorable to execution of pure devotional service: being enthusiastic, endeavoring with confidence, being patient, acting according to the regulative principle, such as Sravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, hearing, chanting, and remembering Krishna, abandoning the association of non-devotee, following in the footsteps of the previous acharyas. These 6 principles undoubtedly assures the complete success of pure devotional service. So I was coming to my mind, tat karma pavartanat. That means to follow the footsteps. You can say in this purport, Srila Prabhupada says, Mukundamala Stotra, first prayer. Yesterday also we have read it. Prabhupada said that King Kulashekara, an ideal pure devotee of the Lord, shows us by his own realization how to offer prayers to the Lord. Since he is a Mahajana, an authority in the line of devotional service, it is our prime duty to follow in his footsteps in order to achieve the highest devotional platform. So, bhakti, devotional service Only by the mercy of the Guru we get sadhu and shastra. So here Prabhupada also recommending that, like in the Upadeshamrutam, tat tat karma pravartanat. We have to follow the footsteps of the previous acharyas. That is very much recommended. So, here now Prabhupada explaining King Kulashekara next addressed the Lord as Varada, the bestower of benedictions, because it is He alone who can deliver to us the actual substance, spiritual bliss. When we detach ourselves from His association, we are always in the midst of the want of scarcity. But as soon as we get in touch with Him, our gradual endowment with all bliss begins. The first installment of this bliss is the clearance of the layer of the dust that has accumulated in our heart due to millions of years of material association. It's a great science. When we go into the deep understanding, it is a great science. Here how Prabhupada writing that the first installment of this bliss is clearance of the layer of the dust that has accumulated in our heart due to millions. How to understand this? Millions of years. In other words, I would like to say that that is the whole program is this, to understand what are we, That is for example, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he wrote these prayers for us, What he says, Udilo Aruna Purava Bhage Dijamani Gora Amani Jage. I'm just trying to bring about this statement, what Prabhupada says. Since millions of years the dust accumulated. Now also, like we wake up, but really the soul doesn't wake up. This is all this I realize. We say Jiv Jago. Prabhupada always talk about that only, like a body. Actually, bodies are dead. Because of the illusion, we identify ourselves with the body. So what I try to say here is, see, nicely, this Arunodaya Kirtana songs to be sung at dawn. This is from Gitavali. When the eastern origin became tinged with redness, the heralds the rising of the sunrise. The jewel among the Brahmanas, Lord Gaurasundara, immediately awakened, taking his devotee with him, he journeyed through the towns and villages of Nadia. The mridanga resounded tatai tatai, and jhaj, large metal kartals that look like small cymbals. In that Kirtana played in the time, Lord Gauranga's golden form slightly trembled in ecstatic love of God, and his foot bells jingled. Lord Chaitanya called out to the town folk, "You spend your night uselessly sleeping, and your days decorating your bodies. Now just fill your mouth with the holy names Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, Hari, chanting without offense. That's what, mostly the grihastha should do that. Right? Now, for example, in the West, you see everything silence. That is very inauspicious. Right? What do you think? Huh? What do you think? Huh? No, I'm asking, what do you think? Is it right or wrong? I'm saying. Like a temple also there, if they know. That's why the devotee comments, different temple, even our ISKCON temple, everything is quiet. That the Prabhupada doesn't want that kind of quietness. There should be always vibration, kirtan, lectures, worship, serving, always active. But we see in the West, even we close the temples also, doors, because of the whatever reason. Like last time I was in Los Angeles, I was telling, Prabhupada said that this was the church before nobody was coming. Then Prabhupada started, that people are coming, 100%. Now again, same standard, nobody comes. I'm not saying that, We all close the doors, always. So many excuses. The Chief Pujari was telling that maybe it happened there before. Some people throw the eggs up. That is maybe. Anyway, so what I tried to say that there should be always vibration. That is the main, I might was trying to say that, this is the thing. Why we ring the bell? Bolo? Pujaris, Brahmanas, tell why we ring the bell. Huh? Why blow the conch shell? Huh? So here it says that, now just fill your mouth with the holy names. Bolo. Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, and Hari, chanting without offense. So the grihastha, they should do that. Right? Some sound should be there. You must be come across, right? Any complaints here? When we do kirtan in the house or whatever. It happens. Tell where it happened. But we do, simple prayer, that is okay. For example, like in Singapore, you cannot blow the conch shell also, because that was, right? But America is more little broad, right? I don't think any complaint.
Sometimes neighbors will do. Sometimes neighbors will complain in the apartments.
No, we should do simple kirtan, not too much ecstasy kirtan. Making noise and,
More parking and traffic complaints.
No, anyway, I'm giving example, there should be always, the grihastha that they have to fill up always. While getting up, that's what in Archana Paddhati also, recommended when you get up, first pay obeisance to the spiritual master and remembering Gaur Nitai, Radha Krishna and Sita. That is the pujari. That is recommended. So what I am trying to say, here Bhaktivinoda Thakur is telling that Lord Chaitanya called out of the town folk, you spend your night uselessly sleeping and your days decorating your bodies. Now just fill your mouth with the holy name, Mukunda, Madhava, Yadava, Hari, chanting without offense. That's what the point I am trying to bring it. So here said that the first installment of this bliss is clearance of the layered dust that is accumulated in our heart due to millions of years of material association. As soon as the dust of materialism brushed aside, the clear mirror of the heart reflects the presence of the Lord. That's what Prabhupada is explaining. That is the ultimate goal of Krishna consciousness, is Sisrastaka prayers. First prayer, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, all glories to the Sri Krishna Sankirtanam, which cleanses the heart of all dust accumulated since time immemorial, extinct the fire of conditional life, of repetition of birth and death. What else? Next one. It is a transcendental knowledge, life of all transcendental knowledge. It enables us to, that's what we have to experience of that. That's what the temples are meant for, that. Always vibrating the kirtana, especially when the worship is going on, like a Sandhya Arati, should be ecstatic. What does it mean by Kibajayo, Jai Gorachat? Only we are singing. Where are the devotees that time to sing? We are all standing, just one person. Please don't, I'm not coming to criticize, but just I'm trying to say that, It should be ecstatic, utsaha. Prabhupada always says, one should be enthusiastic. So anyway, so here Prabhupada is telling that, it enables us to taste the nectar which we are always anxious. We are unable to find that taste, that is why we look at to the lower taste. If you develop higher taste, you give up lower taste. But we are so conditioned, we are always looking for lower taste only. Name Ruchi, we have to develop the taste for the holy name. How many of you are having taste? Raise your hands. No, raise your hand. Don't say like this. Everybody like taste prasad. Prasad is that is another way of secret of, right? You may miss everywhere, but you cannot miss it. Right? This is the experience of all over ISKCON temple. Everywhere, big lineup. Right? Prasadam. That also I always feel, we should have a wonderful prasadam, so people will be attracted by prasadam, and everything, even singing also. I always feel like when we do kirtan, so there are so many people who love to sing, right? And there are many singers. We invite here. Who are the singers? You are telling that. Tell me who is the singer. We invite?
Gandhi
Is a foreigner or Indian?
Swami Prabhu comes, his son Hari Bhakti Dev.
No, what I'm trying to say, even the Karmi world, singers, we should invite them. You want to sing Hare Krishna mantra, like in the early days, George Harrison, the big hit, right, for the whole movement.
Some temples invite Anup Charotia.
No, I'm not talking about that. This is my realization. I'm trying to say that, we should encourage them to sing the glory of the holy name. Now their singing capacity, all mundane songs they are singing, right? So we should invite and give this Maha Mantra. That I'm just trying to say that about that. This is always ever fresh, this Hare Krishna movement. It is not just, we slow down. No, always active. Anyway, so here, that's what the Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu telling. So Prabhupada says here in the purport, as soon as we see him, we are automatically freed from all kinds of aspiration and frustration. In that liberated state, everything is blissful in relation with the Lord. One has no desire to fulfill, nothing lament over. Thus, following the benediction, full spiritual bliss comes upon us, ushering in full knowledge, full life, full satisfaction with our whole existence. King Kulashekara next addressed the Lord as Dayapara. Dayapara. What is meant by Dayapara? He who is causelessly merciful. He who is causelessly merciful. Because there is no one but the Lord who can be causelessly merciful friend to us. Please, and how important this book, Mukundamala, and the purport. That's then, like I'm speaking, right? You should give full attention to this message and broadcast. Prabhupada explained no purport. What he says, King Kulashekara next addressed, like this, Sri Vallabheti Varadeti Dayapareti. Is the ocean of mercy, causelessly merciful. Who can be causelessly merciful friend to us is therefore also called Dinabandhu. There is a nicely Prabhupada story, it talks about the Dinabandhu, right? The friend of the needy, that is the meaning of Dinabandhu. You can remember whose name is Dinabandhu? Prabhupada disciple, Vrindavan, Dinabandhu Prabhu, Brajavasi, who only talks about Krishna. You remember? No?
Yes.
You don't? Then you are not telling, unless I say, you say yes. Unfortunately, at times of need, we seek our friends in the mundane world. Not knowing that one needy man cannot help another. No mundane man is full in every respect. Even a man possessing the greatest riches is himself needy if he is devoid of relation with the Lord. See how important this is. That is why it says that Bhagavad Bhakti Inasya Jati Shastra Japatapa Apranasya Deyasya Mandanam Lokaranjanam. It's a famous sloka. What is that? I was telling. What was the sloka? Forget that. It says that one may be born in a very rich family. One may be very learned in the scholarship, studying the Vedas, Purana, whatever. Maybe doing chanting, japa, tapasya, jati shastra japa tapa. But he has no faith in Krishna and Rama. That's what that sloka says. What is that beginning I was telling? Jati shastra japa tapa, apranasya deyasya. Mandanam Lokaranjanam. So here Prabhupada is explaining that, you can all repeat, these are all very, very important sentences. You please repeat after me. Okay? Okay, from the beginning we can start. King Kulashekara next addresses the Lord as Dayapara. He who is causelessly merciful, because there is no one but the Lord who can be causelessly merciful friend to us. He is therefore also called Dinabandhu, the friend of the needy. Unfortunately, at times of need, we seek our friends in mundane world, not knowing that one needy man cannot help another. No mundane man is in full in every respect. Even a man possessing the greatest riches is himself needy if he is devoid of relation with the Lord. That's what that sloka explaining. You may be very rich man, like you're born in a very rich family like Hiranyakashipu, Ravana, but they don't believe in Lord Rama and Krishna. So they are considered like a dead man. Like a dead man, you can decorate. Is there any use? Bolo? So that is the thing, If you don't have full faith in the Supreme Lord and Krishna, Rama, whatever you are nothing but is just, you are a condemned person. That's what Prabhupada says. Everything is zero without the Lord. Bolo? Everything is zero without the Lord. Who is digit that transfers 0 into 10, 2 zeros into 100, 3 0 into 1,000, and so on. Thus, a zero man cannot become happy without association of the Lord, Supreme One. So how important is purport. That is, it is recommended all the grihasthas should come every day. How many of you come every day? I am shooting, firing, right? That's my duty, I don't know. But the Shastra says, every day you should come. Morning and evening, have a blessings of the Lord, have a darshan of the Lord. Then you can do your duty. Without blessings, what duty we can do? You always depend on the duty, but not depend on Krishna. So here Prabhupada explaining, Supreme One always wants to make our zero efforts valuable by his association. Just as a loving father always wants an unhappy son to be in a prosperous position. A rebellious son, however, stubbornly refuses the cooperation of loving father, thus suffers all sorts of miseries. The Lord therefore sends his bona fide representative to all part of the material creation. Haribol, Prabhupada explaining, all part of the material creation. Example like a Jesus Christ, for us, this is the main personalities, right? Hazrat Muhammad and Buddha, Shankaracharya, all the, personality. Now, yada yada dharmasya granir bhavati bharata abhudanam adharmasya tadatmanam srujamyaham. Whenever, wherever. That's what Prabhupada explaining here. Okay? The Lord therefore sends his bona fide representative, all part of the material creation. Sometimes even comes himself to reclaim his fallen sons. How to understand? Everybody thinking okay, right? You are okay, no? You are okay? Everybody think okay. No, don't laugh, very serious. No, the illusion is very powerful. Why you are saying okay? Because you don't have a problem. What problem you don't? You have no problem for money, no problem for staying nice, So we are satisfied. So here Prabhupada explaining that the Lord therefore sends his bona fide representative to all the part of the material and sometimes even comes himself to reclaim the fallen sons. For the purpose he would exhibit the actual life of transcendental world, which characterized by relation with him in servitorship, friendship, parenthood, consorthood. All relationship in the material world, but a perfected reflection of this original relationship. In the mundane world, we experience only a shadow of the reality. Not like we speak, the Prabhupada is not speaking like that. Prabhupada is the realized soul, the Acharya sent by the Lord. That is why you might have heard once, Prabhupada was in the airport. Some Indian people came and Swamiji, please bless me. Right? You heard about this? So why he was asking to bless me? So by blessings of the Swami, he will be cured his disease. Prabhupada says, I have not come for this. You want to cure your disease, go to doctor. What Prabhupada said? Bolo. What Prabhupada said? No, then what he says next? What is the next? I have come here to cure your disease, heart disease. You understand? That's what you are cleverly telling that. What? When you come to America, you become intelligence. Intelligent working in America. But Krishna consciousness is beyond intelligence. So Prabhupada said that, I have come here to cure your heart disease. That is the point. Further, Prabhupada explaining, the all-merciful Lord, always mindful of our difficulties in the mundane world. He is more eager to get us return home back to Godhead than we are eager to go. Are you listening? What Prabhupada is telling? I think yesterday also I was speaking, Prabhupada established this movement not to stay in this world. What you have to do? You have to go back home, back to Godhead. But no, we don't know this. Simply want to initiate it, okay. Both material, spiritual, we want to adjust. The goal of movement is to, that's the back home, magazine is called Back to Godhead. I don't know. This is the whole Krishna conscious movement. So here Prabhupada explaining that he is by nature merciful towards us. So Prabhupada says about the deities worship also, same. We should never minimize the deities, worship, service, the mood. We are all neophyte stage, we don't much have that much, understanding of the importance of the deity worship. Prabhupada, if you hear many lectures, Prabhupada talks so much about that. Out of causeless mercy, he appears in the form of the deity. So you can serve him nicely, without any offenses. You have to follow rules, regulations, very strictly. Not to commit offense, seva aparad. Like chanting the holy name, nama aparad. You go to the Dhamma, Dhamma aparad. That is more important than just going and chanting. You have to be careful. Right? Then we get reaction. That is one of the reason, a pujari, when he does it, if I commit offenses, he gets sick. That is one of the reasons. You know that? That's true. Naturally you get sick, that is different. But this is also one of the reasons. You fall sick because some aparad going on. Like in Hyderabad, Prabhupada, that's what I heard. Because pure devotee, when they come to the Lord, they know whether Lord is pleased or not pleased. Radha Madan Mohan, Hyderabad temple, Prabhupada, he called the president. He was asking who is worship, who is pujari, who is doing. Prabhupada sees that deities are not happy. Right? Immediate Prabhupada said to take him out from the pujari. Pure devotee knows the heart of everybody. So what I'm trying to say, this is, Prabhupada explains how merciful Lord appears in the form of the deity. We should never neglect the activities serving the deities. So that's what he's telling. He is by nature merciful towards us, despite our rebellious attitude. Even in our rebellious condition, we get all our necessities from him. Prabhupada is telling what we need. Such as food. Huh? Where you get food? Malmark, what is that? Malmart, Food Mart. We heard in the magazine Back to God it said, you cannot eat bolts and nuts. You need a fruits, flower, vegetable. That is given by the Lord. It's not a simple understanding, right? It is a really. But we are forgetful, People do not know this. Air. We are breathing, right? You use current, you have to pay the bill. You use the water, you have to pay the bill. How much you are paying bill to this for breathing? Lord provides the breathing process. Air is provided by the Lord. Light, water, warmth, coolness. Yet because we have detached ourselves from Him, we simply mismanage this paternal property. The leaders of society, despite all their materialistic plans, are misleaders. For they have no plan to revive our lost relation with the Lord. His bona fide devotee, however, try their utmost broadcast the message of our transcendental relation with Him. In this way, the devotee works to remind the fallen souls of their actual position, to bring them back to Godhead. Such stainless servants of Godhead are very dear to Him. They receive such a special favor from the Lord for their compassionate work that they can even go back to Godhead in this very lifetime, not be forced to take another birth. I will stop here. This is one last one. It is also very interesting. The Lord is therefore next addressed Bhakta Priya. This is very, very important. Vaishnava, the words Vaishnava, how important we don't know. Hari Guru Vaishnava. So here it is explaining. He is called Bhakta Priya. That means he was very dear to his devotees. That is the Prabhupada always says, you cannot separate the Krishna and devotees. Mad Bhaktya Puja Adika, Prabhupada in Chaitanya Charitamrita says, Krishna says, better than my worship is my worship of the pure devotee. That is why whenever we talk about disciple or a devotee, we should not think that we have to connect with the Guru. That respect goes to the Guru, not to, if you disrespect the disciple, you are disrespecting the spiritual master. A disciple is belong to the spiritual master. It's all very important for our realizations. How much we have to respect to the Vaishnavas. Vaishnava Parad is very, very dangerous. We all hear, right? Neglecting service, so many things. So here Prabhupada is explaining that he was very affectionate to his devotee. In the Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, text 29, the Lord very nicely describes his sublime and transcendental affection for his devotee. There the Lord declared that although he is undoubtedly equally kind to all living beings, because all of them are part and parcel of him, or his spiritual sons, those who are especially attached to him by love and affection, who regards nothing dear than him, or particularly dear to him. These are very, very important points. Please note down, please now, always this book is so important. Here it says that, Sammoham sarva bhuteshu. Krishna says, I am equal to everybody. But those who worship me with love and affection is more dear to me than others. An example of such a pure devotee is Lord Jesus Christ. Prabhupada writing, who agreed to be mercilessly crucified rather than give up preaching on behalf of God. That is how important preaching. Books are the basis. Without this Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, what preaching we can do? Purity the force. You have to follow strictly 4 regulative principles. Chant 16 rounds. Recently I was reading letters. Prabhupada was telling that if you don't follow, Guru has to suffer. You all know? No, we don't know. Prabhupada himself saying, I have to suffer, Prabhupada was telling. Anyway, I can speak so much things, Like I was told in Bombay, Prabhupada was, early time in 1977, he was so very sick. Tirupati Balaji, head pujari, was asking Prabhupada, Prabhupada, you are such a pure. How come you are suffering? This sickness, this. Prabhupada says, I am accepted all fools and rascals. It's true. We don't understand, proper. That's why I heard people, that's what Prabhupada is more than a Jesus Christ. You heard it? They realize, because how Prabhupada is so merciful, distributing that love of God. Pure love of God, pure knowledge. Anyway, so I'll stop here. We can have some 1 or 2 question or some discussion, anything you want to discuss, what we have spoken, so please. Don't shy, don't much thinking, but you ask question. Good to ask question. Knowingly, unknowingly, it is recommended, right? One should ask question. Knowingly, unknowingly.
We see that in Christianity also, Christians, they have this idea that if you just believe in Jesus, and because Jesus died for your sins, then he will save you from those sins. And Prabhupada used to criticize or point out the fact that just because Jesus is a savior, that does not mean you keep on sinning, and Jesus has taken a contract for
your sins,
for the sins of the people. So we see the same idea that Guru, when he takes the charge of the disciple, he's taking the responsibility, and the disciple should be careful to follow take the vows that he has taken up, and should not cause trouble for the Guru. I was just wondering if there is a reference in scriptures or a quotation from Shastra which we can use to authoritatively present that as an argument.
No, Prabhupada himself says, I was telling, no, in the letter Prabhupada writes, if you don't follow, you're taken a vow in front of Krishna, deities, among the Vaishnavas, fire, God, sacrifice. Prabhupada says, I have to suffer.
Of course, Prabhupada is saying based on scriptures.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering if there's
Actually,
something we can use to quote.
whatever he says, there is scriptures. There's no difference, When a pure devotee speaks, he is an embodiment of the scripture. His words are like Shastra only. One more thing I was trying to say that, forgets it comes, Sarvasya Chamrudi Sannivishtu Mattasvati Jnanam. Regarding this point, it was nicely explained. So what we are discussing? So we all, that is I always recommending everybody should, this is a, Prabhupada's audio visuals. These are very, very important. Bhakti-Vikas Swami disciple Madhava, he made it. Every devotee should know this. This is a very, very important, this is right. Devotee should know this. We have to propagate, we have to distribute to the devotees. Here the Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Isha-Panish, Nectar of Devotion, general lectures, festivals, public address. So what I'm trying to say, the answer was, I'm trying to explain about this. Devotees were asking to Prabhupada, right? What he asked? Prabhupada, if the disciple is not going back home, back to Godhead, spiritual master he has to come back to pick up. That's what their question. What Prabhupada says? Yes, don't give trouble to the Guru. Don't give trouble to the Guru. That's what Prabhupada says, right? So these are all we have to hear, these lectures, morning walks. I always recommend, everybody recommending, even the present Gurus are recommending. Every day you have to hear Prabhupada lectures. See, why to listen Srila Prabhupada? Very important. Like in my, preaching, wherever there is a chance, I was referred from this. I put the Prabhupada lecture instead of speaking myself. I realized that Prabhupada says, what is use of your speaking, lecturing? Distribute my books. On that basis also I realized, what is use of my talking, Listen. Okay, 2 minutes you listen. Okay. I have noted down also. This is a very good lecture. Just now I was hearing. Okay.
The following is a class on the Srimad Bhagavatam, 3rd Canto, 26th Chapter, Text number 30, given by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, recorded on January 7th, 1975, in Bombay, India.
Listen.
Doubt, misapprehension, correct apprehension, memory, and sleep, as determined by their different functions, are said to be the distinct characteristics of intelligence.
Samsayoto viparjaso nischaya smitirevacha sapa ituchyate buddhe lakshanam vittita pritha. So, the modern psychologists, they have divided the function of the mind, thinking, feeling, willing, and then other subdivisions. that is known as the science of psychology. But intelligence, above mind there is intelligence. I don't think in the modern science there is any analytical study of the intelligence function. But in the Vedic literature there is analysis of the intelligence. They are described here, samsaya, doubtfulness. The samsaya atma vinashyati. In the Bhagavad Gita there is a statement. Those who are doubtful about the existence of God, vinashyati, they are finished.
So this is explaining everything. It's so nice too. So please, this is very, very important. You know, I'd like to request all of you, you know, and those who are newcomers, you know, generally people come, no, they have no idea about the temple, you know, like especially Hindus, they come just bow down, just, you know, they don't much learn about hearing, right? So somehow or other we have to request them to sit down here, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, you know. Okay, I'll stop. Hare Krishna. Tomorrow is the last day, we can all inform the devotees, please let them come, hear something. Of course, I'm a small man, but I'm just trying to say what Prabhupada is speaking. Repeating the words of Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Bolo Bolo Maha Maha Patitapam Srila Prabhupada ki.